So we have interesting measurement and monitoring groups like the UN that are coming up and creating infrastructure around this. We're also creating novel financial instruments like soft loans and first loss capital. I think probably the most famous example of this are social impact bonds, which have largely actually been unsuccessful in their sort of founding years. But what NFTs can do is they can bring capital to these individuals who are not able to. So, for example, we have a LATAM fintech founder raising a $2 million seed. He's high risk profile for traditional equity owners. His valuation is too high because LATAM and fintech is a huge market right now. And regional lenders are their interest rates are out of control. So what this individual can do is actually create or mint NFTs as shares in his company. This enables him access to more risk tolerant capital. So individuals who currently hold NFTs, who hold crypto, like risk. So they like to invest in high risk, high reward situations. And it also enables equity ownership. We're a generation of individuals who have, we don't have high salaries. We own a lot of our wealth in paper, and we care about equity ownership. This also creates an immutable ledger. So NFTs enable our founder to create transparency with who owns his company and where shareholder opinions and incentives come from. It also enables less friction with transactions. There's no cross-border payment issues. There's no lagging HC wire, all that stuff that our traditional cross-boundary investments have to deal with. And it enables, an individual in Lao to invest in a company in LATAM, which has traditionally really never been able to happen before. So there's really exciting opportunities in this space. And that's sort of where my company Sphere and our subsidiary 3Health is bringing our expertise in the health insurance industry to this market to create a more transparent, ownership-driven health insurance industry. And that's what I'm excited to talk to y'all today about. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Meg, for this great introduction into the wonderful world of NFTs. So now that we know a little bit more about NFTs, Meg, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got into this space?
Yeah, I think I was studying sort of old school ways of funding companies, and this sort of spoke to me. I didn't see the application at first just because of the almost tricky transparency or tricky, I guess we don't see the implications very clearly of what NFTs look like right now. They're kind of fun, tradable, collectible things. But because of that background in impact finance, that's how I sort of got interested in them.
Okay, good. Michael, how about you? Do you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got into the NFT space?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I'm just on the way to the airport approximately, so I'm going to be moving. But my name is Michael Gord. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of the GDA group of companies, serial entrepreneur investor, but focused on blockchains for just about the past decade. I found out about NFTs in 2017. I had the good fortune of being at the ETH Waterloo hackathon in Waterloo when CryptoKitties was introduced to the market. Can you please take that? So yeah, I've been familiar with it, really since it came out, and the exponential growth trajectory of the past couple quarters has been pretty exciting. And I can't say that I expected it to be this fast, but it has been fun.
Okay, great. Thank you, Michael. So what are these very exciting projects that you're currently working on? I understand that you dive into the real estate side of the NFT business.
Yeah, so I have a few incubated NFT businesses and a portfolio of of NFT investments. Generally, I broke out the market into two categories for NFTs. There's land in the metaverse, and there's everything that might be in land or like displayed on land. So initially, I thought that it would be, I might be in an elevator. So I'm in an elevator, so I might cut out for a second. But I thought that.
All right, so while Michael get off the elevator, we are going to move on to Rima.
I'm out now, so I can.
Okay, perfect.
I can continue that. Sorry.
Mhm.
I'm on the way to the airport. Yeah, so I figured that land would be higher value to start with, because land is super scarce, and if you have land, then to enter the like collectible quote unquote side of the business would be much simpler, because you would be able to have on display or for sale the collectibles that like CryptoKitties or Punks or Bored Apes. So the opportunity to expand to that would be much simpler. So I started a company a year and a half ago called the Metaverse Group. It's the first vertically integrated company focused on metaverse real estate. So we buy and hold lands, build experiences, and then the plan is to rent them out or to create new business verticals on the land and with the experiences that we build. And then on the collectible side of the market, we started a company called NFT Dazl that is focused on one-of-one investment-grade collectibles. So we have physical and digital art. We have real estate. We have cars, or we intend to have real estate, cars, yachts, planes, anything that can be. We can authenticate on the blockchain as an NFT. So yeah, that's kind of the scope of who I am, what I do in NFTs.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Michael, for this great introduction. So as you can see, Michael is a veteran in the space. He's been around. I've known Michael for as long as I myself have been in the blockchain space. So thanks, Michael. All right, so now let's move to Rima, also dialing in from Dubai. Rima, you are an artist that started really providing artistry in the physical world. Then you discovered blockchain and the NFT world, and then you decided to get into the NFT space. So do you want to tell us about your journey from knowing absolutely nothing about blockchain you said just a few years ago, and now being actually a creator in this wonderful world?
Yes, so first of all, hi everyone. Thank you for having me. Michael, I hope you had a really great trip in Dubai, and hope you enjoyed and had the really good expo which you came for, the NFT. I think there was an NFT exhibition which was happening in Dubai, so I hope you had a really great time over there. So yes, I was always an artist, but I dived into digital artist in 2018 because I could never understand the concept of physically holding a canvas and buying paints and then drawing it and putting it into place. And I thought it was a lot of waste of space, material, a lot of investment in that terms. So my husband got me an iPad and he told me that, why don't you try drawing digitally and try selling it? I told him that, nobody would get that concept because people want to touch and feel, especially when it comes to art. It's all about touch, feel, the whole art installation. So I was like, why not? I'll give it a try. So I started drawing digitally. I started posting my artwork on Instagram, and I got a lot of traction because of that. And fast forward to 2021 beginning, one of my friends called me up and he told me that, have you checked on NFTs? There's a lot of buzz going around NFTs. Since you're a digital artist, it will work wonders for you. And I was like, what is NFT? Like, what is NFT? He's like, it's non-fungible token. And I was like, what do you mean by non-fungible token? Like, I've never even heard that word. And he's like, are you in blockchain? I was like, no, I'm not in blockchain. Like, I know nothing about it. He's like, okay, why don't you take a week, study about it, and let me know what you think about it. And I was like, sure, why not? I'll try. I am a curious person, so why not? So I went into
Just
Google.
them, Kitty.
I typed in like non-fungible token, and it gave me like blogs and blogs of content on what is it, how you can start with it. And I think that time OpenSeas was one of the first platforms which was very easy to use. OpenSeas, wearable, mintable. But I think OpenSeas for me was very user-friendly. So I was like, you know what, why not try it? So the whole process started with opening a wallet, because you need to connect your wallet to OpenSeas. Now, I've never been in blockchain. I don't even, like, I know about cryptocurrency, but I never knew how to own one because I don't have a tech background. I'm a B2B marketing person, so that's my background. I'm not a techie person. So for me to understand, I need to like go back, unlearn, relearn, and do like basically go through the whole process of learning. So luckily, Dubai is very crypto friendly, and it already had a BitOasis where you could open your wallet over there. So that's how I learned how to open my wallet, connect my wallet to OpenSeas, mint my first artwork, and I started minting a lot of one-on-one, like one by one, like one of each. And then and I even found out that the crypto community or the NFT community are mostly based in Twitter and not in Instagram. So there was a whole shift of social interaction with people because you don't know where these people are, where the group is. And so then after that, I thought, you know what, why shouldn't I create a whole NFT project like how other people do? So that's how I created Women of Future NFT. I realized that most of the NFT projects are computer generated, but mine is hand drawn. So I couldn't commit to like 10,000 pieces. So I said that, you know what, I'll try to do 1,000 pieces in a span of a year. I'll keep dropping 20 pieces every month. So that's where the whole Women of Future came into space. Women of Future is all about women who are powerful, who are independent, and they live in blockchain community. So yeah, that's how I learned it. And that's about me and my project.
All right, so this is really, really interesting. And actually, I want to just take a stop there where you mentioned that you are not generating NFTs via code, but you're actually hand drawing every single one of them. So NFTs are pretty much pieces of art that computers are generating. How is that working?
So NFT can be anything which is consumable virtually. So it can be music, it can be art, it can probably be space, it can be somebody's tweet. You know, it can be anything, whatever is consumed virtually. What I'm talking about, an NFT project, generative project, is actually a coding process where people will, you could say, for example, make 70 or like 200 components of a particular art piece, and they shuffle it and create a unique generative. So that's how they create like 10,000. When they say that this NFT is a 10,000 project, it's not that they have hand drawn 10,000. They might have drawn like 200 to 300. Then they shuffle like A, B, B, C. I hope if you can understand.
Yes, definitely. So we understand there are two types of art-based NFTs, and those that you actually hand draw, and then those
and something which is computer generated using AI coding.
Exactly, using code, and then there are those that you actually do by hand. And I'm guessing that those that you do by hand are more valuable, right? Just as something you commercialize versus something that was handmade will always be more valuable.
I don't think the value of an NFT comes through whether it's hand drawn or computer generated, because there's so many computer generated like punks, and they go for millions. So it's basically what the community support and what they connect to. It doesn't matter if you're a hand-drawn artist or you might be a really great artist. They connect with the whole cause, with the whole roadmap of the project. They need, like, it should be a connect over there.
Okay, got it. All right, so we'll talk in a few minutes about what it takes for a project, an NFT project, to be successful, just as you mentioned a little bit. But I would like to come back to Meg. And Meg, now you are working on an NFT/health care kind of project. So how do you merge the NFT world with healthcare. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so as
All right, so I see that Meg is having a little bit of an issue. So I'm going to go back to Michael. Michael, are you still with us?
Yeah. Hi.
By the way, we are really enjoying this Dubai by night tour that you're giving us. So
Yeah, I was thinking of putting the camera the other way so that I can do more of a tour. I'm happy to. And yeah, I figure, might as well do a panel from the back of the cab sometimes.
exactly. So all right,
Better
so
than nothing,
Michael,
right?
So Michael, one question again, I think we may have talked about it a little bit before, but how do you define scarcity in a digital world? And why would anyone want to spend any kind of money on something that is digital because when you think about real estate, you're really thinking about how you can actually buy something that can shelter you from the elements. That has always been the purpose of real estate. Now you're bringing in the concept of a digital land in that's available virtually. So first of all, why is it so important, and how do you bring scarcity online?
Just have not a lot of supply. The less supply, the more scarce. The higher demand for a item that has limited supply. Um, the more it's going to appreciate. Same as land in the real world. Same as bitcoins. Same as land in the virtual world, or any NFT, or any painting, or any car, or any plane, or any boat. If real estate in the real world was easily accessible and infinite, it wouldn't be valuable. If we could create more land in Hong Kong or Manhattan, then the value of land in Hong Kong or Manhattan would continue to appreciate. If people move out of Hong Kong and Manhattan and there's less demand for the scarce asset, then land will depreciate. So, yeah.
Okay,
It's the same thing
good.
with digital items.
Okay, good. So would you say that that's one of the main reasons why people are getting so excited about NFTs nowadays?
I think people are excited about NFTs because it's hypey. It's possible to earn CryptoPunks they were $100 2 years ago. Now they're $1 million. That's a times 1,000 return. Actually, times 10,000 return, I think. So if you can earn a times 10,000 return on something in 2 years, then that creates a lot of hype, a lot of FOMO. So there's certainly partially based on hype. But NFTs are the building blocks for the metaverse, which I think is the next multi-trillion-dollar market. What's up, Ahmed? So I'm super bullish on the metaverse, and because the entire metaverse is built with NFTs, NFTs are going to be hugely valuable for that. And then NFTs are also the building block of future loyalty systems, future arts, entertainment, music, sports, lifestyle, and are going to be used by every business in the same capacity as businesses today use tools like email and CRMs to engage with their audiences. I kind of think of the blockchain market today, or if we looked at the internet marketing stack and how companies in the internet age could leverage the internet to create more adoption or a wider audience for their network. They could use email, they could use newsletters, they could use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, blogs, social media. They could use Google and search. They could use CRMs for their existing audiences. So there's this marketing stack that became available in the internet to create awareness. Same thing in the blockchain world. There's now just a new marketing stack that companies are able to use. So utility / loyalty points, there's NFTs, there's the metaverse, there's DeFi is kind of a category. There's going to be security tokens. There's definitely going to be other ways of there's DAOs. There's just these new tools for businesses to just leverage decentralized finance to create a wider audience and more value for their business.
Okay. I think now it's starting to get clearer and clearer. But Meg, coming back to you, what would you say to those who say, well, NFTs, other than the visuals, have no real purpose? You're working in the healthcare space. We all know how healthcare is important. So what would be your response to that? And by the same token, if you can tell us a little bit more about your project.
Sorry, on mute. Yeah, of course. We have a couple projects going on. So as Rima had said, NFTs are art. I think that art is education. So one of the projects that we are working on is trying to educate individuals about sort of the inner workings of the healthcare system. I think especially in the US, it's come to a tipping point where there's so much fraud, waste, and abuse, and 50% of Americans have medical debt that something needs to change. And I think that change starts with education. So one of our first projects that we're creating is what we're doing is minting NFTs that explain what claims data is. And claims data is sort of the DNA of the health insurance industry. Claims data is essentially a complete record, complete medical record of a patient's whole medical history. And it's sort of deduced down into codes. And what we're trying to explain is that these codes hugely restrict the medical services that are given to individuals. And the fact that these codes are sort of hidden away behind the scenes within, the big insurance companies. They're called BUCA, Blue Cross, Aetna, Cigna, and United. And these companies sort of own huge billions and trillions of data points worth of these claims data. And what our company wants to do is bring that out into the open. So what we hope to do is enable individuals to create de-identified claims data after when they use our health insurance, and then actually own their data. It's obviously de-identified, so it's completely compliant HIPAA and COPPA wise. But what this allows us to do is it allows our members to actually reap dividends from owning their health data. So they get to sell their health data to research that they care about. One such cause is we're doing incredible work in the States with PTSD in veterans. And that, I think, is one of the first studies that we want to hopefully be able to sell our members' data to, or our members get to choose to sell their data to help PTSD research. There's other really interesting implications, but we essentially want to lower the curtain that these big health insurance companies have held up for decades and decades, and educate people about what's actually going on, and then give them ownership of it.
Okay, so very, very, very interesting. But someone might say, well, I mean, I could as well do exactly this, right? Sell my data without having to go through the blockchain, without having to go through an NFT. So how would you respond to that question?
Sorry, that they don't want to sell it?
They could as well sell their data, decide to sell their data without having to go through a blockchain powered NFT. So why is blockchain such an essential technology, or why NFTs? For
Absolutely.
NFTs are powered by blockchain. So
I think the immutable nature of them, the fact that they're non-fungible, that we can't change them, brings a higher fidelity to information that has traditionally, I mean, the whole alpha of a centralized health insurance company is that they own, the essentially Excel spreadsheet of all this data, and they are the enforcer, and they are the, grand owner of this list, and the blockchain sort of takes that high fidelity ownership and puts it out there in an immutable way. I think the other cool thing about what blockchain can do for claims data is that people can reap dividends through selling that data, and they can do that on the blockchain by still owning it, but by selling that information, that de-identified information to clinical studies. And it sort of keeps them in a centralized place, in a high fidelity place, in a place that they can't lose it.
Exactly, and so that's a great answer, by the way. I definitely second that, and that brings me back to Rima, actually. So Rima, I believe that this ability to prove ownership and also to reap dividends, not only for yourself but for the people who buy your NFTs, is one of the reasons why you decided to get into this space. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How do you go about earning royalties on your NFTs? Tell us a little bit about the process.
So this is how the process goes. Like, you open an account in any platform which enables you to put or list your NFTs. So once you do that, you need to pay a basic gas fee to mint your NFTs on that platform. Now, gas fee is something which is a cost you pay for the energy used to convert your piece into that blockchain technology. So that's what the gas fees is. And then you post it online and you market it. And then you find people who wants to buy, who like believes in your cause or believes in your artwork or believes in your goal, and they can come and they can buy it. So when they buy it, they own the artwork, but the intellectual property still belongs to the artist. Because I was reading this blog online. Disclaimer, I don't know how true it is because you can't trust anything what's online these days. So, but this is what they said. And they're like, you have the right to own the artwork and sell it forward, but you cannot change the artwork or, like flip it and then resell it as your own artwork, because that comes under the Copyright Infringement Act. So, yeah. And whenever I sell my artwork, I get paid for what is it, but when the next owner sells my artwork forward, I get the creator royalty. So whenever it's sold, I keep getting the creator royalty, which I kept for myself.
Okay, anyone wants to add anything on that? Meg, Michael? No? No, no. Okay, all right. So thank you so much, Rima. So Michael, back to you. So today there is a huge focus on ESG, right? ESG investment. Can you tell us a little bit about how your company kind of try to meet the ESG goals, but at the same time leverage the power of NFTs?
I guess NFTs by default don't consume energy. Digital assets by default don't really consume energy.
Sorry, I meant
really
ESG as in keeping in mind the environmental, social, and governance goals. And the reason why I asked the question is I wanted to get a little bit into your rates, the rates that you offer, and how that sort of help with ensuring financial inclusion on a broader level.
Yeah, so I mean, everything that's digital, Rima, staking of digital assets, transferring digital assets, holding digital assets, trading digital assets, taking digital assets public, lending against digital assets has no energy impact. Mining Bitcoins does. So if we were a Bitcoin miner, then I might have a stronger opinion on energy, but we're a capital markets business. We do financial transactions. We don't really touch the environment aside from going to work, flying around. I guess that. So I don't have we don't touch the environment too much. We are purely digital. With regards to our
Financial
intention
inclusion.
to take a metaverse REIT to market, the objective there was and is to provide exposure to a basket of metaverse assets for someone that wants to contribute $1 or $50 or $5 million or $5 billion. That would be great. The result is that a REIT structure is quite specific in the actual formation of the structure, and that the metaverse is not at a point where a REIT is possible to take to market. So now that is definitely on our roadmap, but it's not something that is from a regulatory perspective possible, or from a scale perspective also possible to do today, because there's just no predetermined cash flows that you could put on the table yet. I think that will change in the next 2 years, but today that's not the case. So our objective now in the metaverse is to provide the public market retail investors with exposure to the metaverse, or to metaverse land, specifically into the potential exponential opportunity in metaverse land with a public vehicle. So we'd like to be the first public metaverse company in the world. And then as far as social inclusion, I mean, we're an equal opportunity employer. We have people from around the world that work at our company. So we definitely appreciate and value the interests of a global population. Our brand is global. We are global. We think globally. We are global. We want to be everywhere. We want to include everyone, and bring the world into the financial revolution.
Yes, and I again second that as well, Michael, because this is one of the reasons why I and many other people are so passionate about blockchain. It doesn't discriminate. It allows anyone, even if you live on $2 a day, which is the case for 4 billion people in the world, still you can own NFTs. Sometimes you can own them for free, right? Or you can really own them they are pretty affordable, unlike many financial products that ask you to have, I don't know, X amount of money in your account in order to be able to do some kind of investment. Blockchain doesn't discriminate and includes everyone, right? So very, very exciting. So now, if I want,
can I
yes?
just?
Go for it.
You can go.
Michael, go ahead.
I think the metaverse creates a massive opportunity for global inclusion. Although the internet democratized access to communication, so anyone around the world could connect with a financier in Toronto or London or New York or Dubai or a city that has a capital market. If you are living in in a small town in Zimbabwe, unfortunately, although you have an equal opportunity to send out that email or that message on LinkedIn to venture capitalists in Silicon Valley or Toronto or New York or London or Dubai or wherever, as a result of your geographic location in the world, the reality is that they're less likely to respond to you than if someone is emailing them or messaging them from Silicon Valley or from New York or from Toronto or from London or Dubai. The metaverse democratizes access to actually showing up. So there will be a Sand Hill Road equivalent in the metaverse where anyone anywhere can actually show up, be present, and build relationships in front of people that they otherwise wouldn't necessarily have the luxury of being able to actually be present in New York to meet with. So I think that's a quite interesting value proposition of the metaverse. Plus, you walk around and you collect NFTs as you identified, which I think it's reasonably likely for anyone walking around the metaverse to earn more than a few dollars a day just in proof of attendance NFTs. So it's I think going to bring a massive wave of people out of the $2 a day mentality. But Angela, what were you gonna say?
Okay, that's great. Yes, Megan.
I just wanted to say why now. I think there's an expediency because of what has been sort of the driver for ESG over the past 100 or so years, which is the US dollar. I think it was an important way to develop nations. It acted as a reserve currency in good faith for a lot of reasons, other reasons not so well. But I think a huge why now issue is the fact that, whether you believe that MMT is good or bad, I think that it's true that it exists right now, and inflation is high, interest rates are negative. There's been defaults more in more rapid succession than there has been in the previous couple of decades, and so I think that it's sort of at the perfect convergence right now with what Michael's talking about. There needs to be something that steps in to help continue development for these underdeveloped parts of our world that desperately need liquidity to create access and to create opportunity.
So Meg, so you are launching your NFTs, and as we know by now, there are a whole bunch of platforms available for you to do exactly that. How did you go about choosing on what platform to launch? And then the follow-up question to that is, once you've launched your NFT on a platform, right? What prevents anyone to copy that NFT and go launch it on another platform? And this question is for both Meg and Rima.
Yeah, I'll start. I'll answer the first part, Rima, if you want to answer the second. But we were deciding between Ethereum and Polygon, and eventually ended up deciding. So initially we were going to launch about 17,000 NFTs, 17,403, because that's how many medical claim codes there are. We were going to launch on Polygon because of gas fees, so like the tax that you have to pay essentially to mint an NFT is pretty high on Ethereum, and so we were going to go with Polygon. Now we've ratcheted back how many NFTs we're thinking about, something like sub 100. So we'll probably mint on Ethereum just because there's more the network effect of it. There's more users on it.
Okay, so definitely paying attention to transaction fees, right? Because these platforms do need they need fuel to run, and that fuel is you paying the fees to create your NFT on the blockchain. So these transaction fees are key points that you have to be very aware of when you decide to create your own. How about you, Rima?
So when I was deciding between Polygon and Ethereum, I chose Ethereum for the very reason is there was a lot of scam happening where all the high-end or blue chip NFTs were being copied, and they were sold in Polygon, claiming that they're the Polygon version of that blue chip NFTs. And a lot of people bought that during that time. And after 2 days or 3 days, the whole project got delisted from OpenSea. So you have to be very careful, especially when you invest in NFTs, since the platform is so brand new and people are not so aware about it. You should know the owner. If there is a face present over there, you should know what the project is. Even if, since it's a digital thing, people can cut, like, right-click, copy, and create a whole page on that. So we have to be very careful on that. Based on copyright, the owner has the intellectual property right over the artwork. When you sell it to someone, they have the right to own it and then sell it forward. Do they have right to merchandise it? No, they don't have that right to merchandise it. Do they have right to vandalize your artwork and resell it? No, they don't have that right. Do they have right to showcase the artwork they bought on museums? Because I think nowadays you have museums where people show off their NFTs which they buy. Do they have that? That depends on place to place where you are. So which country you reside in and how the copyright laws are. Now in Dubai, the copyright laws are not that strong as in for US and UK. So over here, you can't merchandise it, but definitely you can, put it on a museum and do a 1 day or 2 day show. But definitely they cannot, commercially reprint it but they can definitely sell it forward.
And we are talking about virtual museums, by the way, not
virtual. No, not even virtual. You know what people do these days? I've seen one of the museum. They just put it in an iPad, the NFT which they own. It was a blue chip NFT, and then they just place the iPad there with the owner's name, like who owns that NFT. So people can do anything.
Yeah, yes, so for sure. So and that's actually great, because another way that I've seen those NFTs being displayed is through virtual reality. And by virtual reality, I do mean the ones where you actually have to wear some Oculus goggles and physically go into the museum and kind of look around, and you see some amazing pieces, right? So that's great. So you have the physical version, and you definitely have the virtual version, but as Rima mentioned, there's also some kind of physical versions that also work for you. All right, so Michael, how do you, thank you Rima for that. So Michael, how do you deal with the laws and regulations aspect of your project? If anyone wanted to maybe dispute the ownership of this digital asset in a court of law, will that stand? What is your take on that? And I don't know if Meg also you want to chip in, but how would that stand in a court of law? Meg, maybe since you're unmuted.
Yeah. Oh, Michael, you can go if you want.
No, go for it. I thought you said Mike.
Yeah. So it's interesting for us. We are doing a lot of the regulatory work on the more traditional centralized Web2 stack. I would say that we've designed the project so that our members who have our health insurance are the ones that are interacting in Web3. The data that they own is in Web3, but all of the regulatory requirements are on the back end in a much more old school way. And that's just version 1. As regulations expand to include assets in the metaverse, we will continue to iterate, but right now it's really walking that fine line for us, and I'm sure for many other industries like real estate, like what Michael's working on.
I mean, when it comes to blockchain, really there is always a community that is backing it's kind of almost an ideology, right? Even when you don't have the laws and regulations plain and simply backing your ownership, there is still this community that believes in the fact that if you own something on the blockchain, then it does belong to you. And that community the people in that community tends to kind of attract each other, right? And so I believe there are how many people right now dealing with blockchain in one shape, form or another, a few hundred millions, right? So there are people out there that believe in what blockchain stands for, and it's always like that with innovation. Innovation starts, then later on the lawmakers come in and then design laws that support that innovation. So having said that, Michael, is there anything that you would like to add to this answer from Meg?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Is there anything that you'd like to add to this answer from Meg, from a laws and regulations perspective?
No, I'm not an expert on blockchain law or NFT law.
Okay. So we do have a question from the audience, and the question is, if somebody buys an NFT, is it possible for them to sell it without paying any gas fees? Anyone wants to answer that, Rima?
Depends what chain you've used. If you've used Polygon, if the NFT is minted using Polygon or other blockchain technology, which is gas free, then definitely they can. But if it's minted on Ethereum, as far as I know, and you can do your research online, I think you need to pay. If my project is based on Ethereum blockchain, then if I've paid the gas fees, then it further, whoever transacts should pay gas fee, as far as I know. But definitely the rules and laws are always changing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you can think of it as almost like paying for anything with your credit card or your debit card. Every time you need something to run that transaction, and that something is gas fees. So now one of the audience members mentioned Matic, which is kind of a side chain that you could potentially use to decrease your transaction costs. But yeah, definitely there are a lot of options out there, which makes education very, very important, right? So if you want to get into this world, which is a novel world, you need to know what you're getting into. Having said that, if someone wanted to invest in NFTs, how much, giving the certainty and the uncertainty of NFTs, how much do you think they should go in with, whether you're looking at an individual or a business? How much do you think they should be investing in NFT projects? Or how would they go about even investing in NFT projects? Should they take that risk? I mean, we all did. So I'm guessing in unanimity is yes, but still, let's be our own devil and a devil advocate and
if you're looking at like traditional portfolio construction, it's like invest like 10% or less of your net worth in risky assets. That's I think.
Well, I think that, like whenever people invest money, they definitely expect some sort of return in any form or shape. Let it be like either in sort of like monetary value or in a sort of like flexing, like, look, I own this person's XYZ artwork. So there should be some form of return. But I think you need to be very careful when you're investing in NFT because there are a lot of scammy people over there, but they are really good projects. So I would suggest that if you are investing in NFT, you should have like a mixed bag of upcoming artists, some really well-established artists which have been in space from starting, some projects which you think are going to be really good. You can invest in generative artwork, which is like 10,000 pieces, 20,000 pieces, or you can invest in one-on-one where people have created just single artwork for that. And there are a lot of great artists online and they are selling in such good price. So not today, but tomorrow when people or like the public will catch their eyes, probably that might be a good investment for you. You never know who's going to fly high. Like I always tell people, you're one celebrity endorsement away from flying high. You're like your NFT going crazy. So yeah, that's what I feel. I don't know what.
Yes, anyone wants to add to that?
All I'm going to say is the metaverse is the next multi-trillion-dollar market. Do with that information what you want, but I encourage you to at least do some research.
Exactly. So yeah, go ahead.
So I have a question for Michael. Michael, since you're so good in crypto and NFT, so this question many people have asked me. When there's a lot of people influencing the market and there's no regulatory, like how you have in stocks, you have the SEC who's regulating the stock market. There's nobody's regulating NFTs or crypto. So anyone like who's famous, like an ex-person, is really famous. And he said that, okay, I bought Dogecoin today and it trades the market. So how do you regulate that? So there's a lot of pump and dump going in the market. So how do you since there's no regulatory and it's decentralized completely?
Well, I think that it's clear from the Dogecoin and the Shibu example that a meme economy is real. The value of the meme economy is valued at about $50 billion. So, if Doge is usable to buy coffee at Starbucks and Tesla cars and everything else, which I think it's reasonably likely that Dogecoin will be usable for in the future because Dogecoin is liquid. I don't hold Doge myself, but the meme economy is impossible to ignore at this point. But if Dogecoin is usable to buy everything, which I think it will be because Dogecoin is liquid, you can sell millions of dollars of Dogecoin on market instantly with no slippage. If Dogecoin is used globally, transactable globally, and has millions of holders, then actually the value proposition of Dogecoin is larger than every currency on earth except for the US dollar, which is quickly, I think, losing its value. That's not the answer to your question. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a regulator. I think crypto is just about impossible to regulate because as soon as it starts to get regulated, then there's just a new crypto trend that kind of pushes the needle. And I think that the ultimate linchpin of lack of regulation is DAOs. If there's thousands of heads of community through a DAO, you can't arrest everyone. And if everyone in the world is a participant in a DAO, good luck regulators. So I'm not the right person to answer that question. But I do believe in the value proposition of Dogecoin, and the meme economy is undeniably a real economy. Although I'm not a holder, I'm not an advocate of Dogecoin. Through a public company I'm a partner of, we do hold Shibu. Randomly enough, I was not privy to that discussion or to that decision. But the meme economy is impossible to ignore. I've got to drop. Thank you, Othalia, for organizing this, and everyone for listening. It was a pleasure.
And thank you, Michael, for joining.
Rima,
have a safe flight. Have a safe flight, and we'll stay in touch. Thank you. Bye, Michael.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right. Okay. So great discussion. I hope, Rima, that Michael was able to answer your question in one way, again, shape, form, or another. But again, the point is, when it comes to, again, the blockchain space and anything related to innovation, lawmakers and regulators are always kind of playing catch up, and innovation is kind of always running, and it's like trying to catch a train that is full speed leaving the station. So, but we'll see. That doesn't prevent innovation to catch fire. Doesn't prevent innovation to be adopted by the many, as we already know. If it wasn't the case, then the crypto market wouldn't be $1 trillion plus crypto market, right? So there you go. So is there, Rima, Meg, are there any other kind of NFT related projects that you are very excited about? Other than maybe your projects, anything that kind of is unique that you want to share?
So I do have a couple of women who are really great in the NFT space, and they are doing tremendous work. Like Meg, they're also in some sort of other way into healthcare, and they support a heart condition, which one of the creators' partner was facing. Her NFT is called Pulse. If you have time to see her artwork, she is going to drop her first NFT selection after Christmas. So I'm very excited about that. So she's one of my favorites. So she has a good community sense. She has not dropped her NFT as of yet, but the community and the talk she has created around her project is really hard, I would say. So yeah, it was really good. So I really want to support her. So that's one for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I love
Meg, how about you?
Yeah, the potential for education is so important. I think one of my favorites was the Blaze Cat drop. It was to talk about, it was sort of to start the conversation around mental health, especially after the pandemic, or in the midst of the pandemic, and decrease stigma and increase conversation around mental health. So I just think that levering these sorts of fun, interesting, viral projects to talk about something important is one of the coolest implications.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, and again, I love all these projects myself. There's also a few projects that I saw are coming up that have to do with having a website-based NFT. Pretty much a website that you will own and that will never have to pay for, a website URL, a domain name that you'll own and you'll never have to pay for. Thought that was kind of brilliant. And I have to say that at InnovFin as well, we are very big into education. And we are launching a few courses next year, where as you learn, you will be able to earn free NFTs. So really, the cost of you earning those NFTs is really just you educating yourself. So maybe you would like to leverage that, but that kind of concludes our discussion today. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. I'm going to hand it over to Angela to take us to the end. But again, Rima, Meg, and everybody else, thank you for joining us. Please stick around. We have some great freebies for you. So stick around and enjoy Angela will share all of that with you in a few seconds. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Angela, to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Othalia. Thank you, everyone. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Thank you, everyone. It was such an informative presentation from the guest speakers, and I hope that everyone enjoyed it. As promised, I would like to introduce InnovFin's Certified Cryptocurrency Payments and Donations course launching in January 2022. This course includes NFT modules and components to kickstart your path into NFTs. I also do realize that we have a few questions on that, so we'll make sure to answer them at the very end. You also have the chance to gain a unique opportunity to earn cryptocurrencies and NFTs while you learn and study this course. For the Innovative Financier community members, please also remember to enter the code TIFCOM for an extra 20% discount upon purchase. This promotion is only available until tomorrow, Friday, December 17th at 11:59 p.m. Additionally, I would like to provide everyone a few seconds to visit the link in the chat or scan the QR code to learn more about this course. InnovFin has also provided some NFT samples here with even more advanced and creative NFTs available to earn on the platform. The Innovative Financier community members can use the code again, TIFCOM, upon purchase to receive an additional 20% discount. Please also remember that this code will only be valid until tomorrow, 11:59 p.m. Please take advantage of this deal as soon as possible by scanning the QR code on the screen to learn more or visiting the link in the chat. We have also compiled the links to the resources shared today in one file. Please be sure to click on it and save the document before we exit the chat. All right, last but not least, coming soon in 2022, TIF conference made for and by the community. This is an exciting conference that we will be able to design around your interests and needs and what you can learn about everything finance. We'd also like to invite you to participate either as attendees, speakers, partners, or sponsors. Please follow us on our social media channels for more updates on the conference. In addition, if you missed any of our links we shared today, we have prepared a comprehensive document piling all the links and resources discussed as well as social media links of our speakers today. Please check the section for more information. If you have any remaining questions, please feel free to contact us at info@innofin.ca, and we have provided in the document. All right, Othalia, I would like to bring you back to answer some of the questions that we have left remaining.
All right, so I believe we've answered most of the questions, but what else do we have? Do you want to tell me, Angela, any last minute questions that
Yes.
I may have missed?
Yes, thank you, Othalia. Nestor was asking about the clear-cut provenance back to the artist or issuing agent. So the exact question is, what happens when the NFT platform disappears?
So the NFT is actually not stored in your platform. The NFT is stored in your wallet, your crypto wallet. So if the platform is gone, your NFT is still there in your wallet. You have to be very careful how you store, how you take care of your wallet. Please don't share your seed phrase with anyone. Don't share your hash key with anyone, and don't store your seed phrase on an online drive like a Google Drive or something, because it's easy to be hacked. You have to be very careful how you store your NFTs. Even if the platform is gone or you are connected to a different platform, it's fine. You won't lose your NFT if anything shuts down, because it's stored in your wallet. But I would suggest personally get a ledger, a physical crypto wallet where you can put your blue chip NFTs. It is fine when you are a startup and you have NFT which is between like $1,000, but any NFTs which goes about $10,000, I would suggest or highly recommend you to store it in a separate wallet. Also try to segregate your NFTs in a way, like if you have the website which Othalia was talking about, where you can own a website, put it on a different wallet, put your artwork in a different wallet, put your blue chip artwork in a different wallet, put music in a different wallet. Don't put everything in one wallet, because in case you lose it or in case somebody scams you, you just lose a portion of it and you don't lose your entire collection. It is just like investing in stocks. You don't put your eggs in, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So you need to be very careful. If anyone asks you about your seed phrase, don't give it to anyone. Because there's a lot of people who've been losing their entire NFT collections. There's a person I knew, I was reading his article online, he lost around 6 million worth of CryptoPunks, which is a lot of money, which is like life-changing money for people. So be careful when you deal in NFT, when you transact in NFT, when you create a crypto wallet, how you're gonna store it, the whole safety behind it. So yeah, do your research. That's what I would say.
All right, yes. So thank you so much, Rima. And I mean, we could spend the whole hour, actually 2-3 hours, talking about what you should do, how you should do it. But if you'd like to learn more, again, we have this course online and on demand that you'll be able to go through that really walks you through all of the process, step by step. So having said that, that really concludes our discussion today. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of your week. Keep following us on social media, where we will be talking about, where we'll be posting our next event, and where we'll be also posting more information about our conference coming up in 2022. Again, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, of your week, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.